everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Knights of Pen and Paper, the +1 Deluxe Edition. And I have to make that distinction because this is actually a Steam port, or a PC port, I guess to be more accurate, of a game that it previously existed as a mobile version. This is technically an RPG, it has strategy elements, but I definitely would not call it an RPG, or a strategy RPG like something like a Fire Emblem Awakening or something like that. It's more of a turn-based RPG with some very tabletop-influenced elements, including the aesthetic, as you can probably tell with what's in front of us. Now, this is available for $10 on Steam, and it seems like I've been making this kind of asterisk, or, you know, this addendum to that a lot lately, but this also does have some free-to-play trappings. So, you know, we have 982 gold up here. I believe we started with like 700, and I've earned the rest from battle. Maybe we start with 800, actually, because you seem to earn fairly little gold from battle, at least so far in the hour or so I've spent with the game. But you can also buy more gold if you want to. Now, this is definitely a situation where, you know, obviously there's some kind of economy of scale. Like, if you spend $1, you get 300 gold. If you spend 5 times $1, you actually get, like, 6 times proportionally more than that, which is 10,000 gold. So, you know, probably 10,000 gold is as much as you would probably ever need, but that being said, it does kind of leave a bad taste in my mouth that, you know, it seems like gold is kind of restricted in the game to kind of incentivize buying these packs. That being said, you definitely don't need to buy any of this free-to-play stuff to experience the game. In fact, I had to do some extra research to determine what I could actually spend this gold on, because it's not like you're buying things that, it's not pay to win, let's put it that way. So let's load into the game, the one that I've been playing so far. It's been 45 days long, which is essentially 45 turns, and we're in this, like, kind of Journey village here. I believe this is actually meant to be the village from, or one of the settings from Journey, the actual PS3 indie game that won so many awards last year. So I have a party here. Remember, we are at a, again, kind of like a tabletop aesthetic. So I have 2 people in my party right now. Mr. John, the Paladin, who is level 10. When you create a character, you can choose from, like, a class, like Paladin, Warrior, Wizard, Cleric, etc., etc. And you can also choose from a character, and each of these characters has different effects. So the character, Mr. John, he's like a businessman, so I guess he's a little bit older. He's got this passive benefit of having lived, so he has plus 10% experience points gained throughout all of the matches. So this is like a perk that is endemic or native to that character. And of course the class has these abilities, these 4 abilities that you can see right here. We'll talk about those a little bit later. Same thing, we have the Nerd. His ability means that he gets a 50% discount when resurrecting this player after death. Now, admittedly, I have not died, so I don't know if there's like a crazy gold cost when your character dies, and that would incentivize buying gold. But we are also warriors, so we have some abilities associated with that. So, the way that this game is kind of organized is a little bit unique, and I didn't play the mobile version, so this is entirely, like, my experience with the PC version so far. But basically, the game is kind of subdivided into quests, but you kind of choose these quests as you go. It looks like we're not in a good position to get more quests here because, we're not level 18 yet, we're only a level 11, so we might want to actually, like, open up our map and go someplace else. Looks like in our default village, 69%, of course, because that number seems to show up in every single one of my videos, and I'm 10 years old, so I have to highlight it and laugh at it every single time. We are going to be able to go there, and, wait a minute, I've already been here, but he's giving me some flavor text. Sometimes the Dungeon Master will kind of give us a little bit of flavor text that sets the stage for our story. But anyway, we should have a quest here available. The star indicates that it is a quest that is kind of like part of the mainline story. Do I have to slay some rats? That seems kind of strange. A girl approaches the group and cries out in a desperate voice, "Is she cute? The least you can do is to fill our adventures with beautiful girls." Fair enough, her charisma is 19. Commoner girl says, "There's a rat infestation in the village. Please, could you deal with it as fast as possible?" The commoner girl is really frightened, and you can see it in her eyes. You're not only helping her, but the whole village as well. Alright, kill 5 rats in 1 or more battles to complete the quest. So, this is what's kind of interesting about this, is that we'll get these quests, and then we kind of choose how we want the quest to go down. So, we choose how many rats we fight, and you can see the difficulty will change based on how many we add. Now, we have to kill 5 rats, which we now have on the screen, in order to beat the quest. This is going to be super easy. I actually already thought I did this quest, but maybe this is a good way to kind of set the stage for what the game actually is based on. But what's kind of interesting about this is that oftentimes it'll be like, okay, you have to kill 7 castle guards. Maybe those castle guards are really difficult, so maybe the first few fights you only fight 1 at a time, and then you start adding 2, and then maybe you finish off with 3 as you level up and get more experience. It's kind of an interesting way to do things. There's a definite risk versus reward there. So, you know, this is our series of abilities down here. Attack, our magical abilities, item, defense, and chicken is just run away. Let's just attack these, because we should be able to one-shot most of these guys, or at the very worst, two-shot them. And the number above our player or below the enemy's health bar indicates what their turn order is. So actually, so you can see that the rats largely go first, and then my other two guys go basically last here. So we might get lucky and be able to one-shot a couple of these guys. Once we get down to the last rat, I'll talk a little bit about the magical spells that we have available that make our characters unique from one another. So first things first, we'll just take these guys out very, very easily. Should not be a problem. Obviously, our paladin more of a healer and a buffer and debuffer, whereas our warrior is the DPS. So in terms of magic, our paladin has Leader Strike, which effectively costs 2 MP, which is our magic point. Magic points, I guess I should say, does damage to the enemy, and also increases our threat level, which I believe is something like a critical chance, or maybe it strikes fear in the heart of the enemy. I don't know. It hasn't totally been explained to me so far. And also a flash heal, which gives us like plus 30 HP because I've leveled it up a lot. And for our warrior, we have Strike, which not only does more damage than the average attack, but in addition, it also causes them to be weakened for a turn, so they do like 16 less damage, which is really good. So, we get 211 XP. That's not a lot for this point in the game because I had to go back and do this like really early quest. Plus 40% group bonus, not sure what that's for, but only 2 gold. So as you can see, this is kind of a bad example because it's so early on in the game, but the gold that you get is certainly, it's not on the order of like hundreds of gold per battle, at least so far. It's more on the order of like, you fight a very difficult battle, maybe you get 8 gold. So I do believe that they have kind of restricted the gold output to incentivize those free-to-play trappings, which probably were a necessity to make money on the mobile version of the game, but once you start selling it for $10 on Steam, a game like this, that leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Maybe the rumors are true. You really are great warriors. Wait here, so maybe we'll get some sort of item for completing this quest. She quickly goes inside of her house. What is this? A bathroom break? Quest done! Excellent. So we got 15 gold and 1560 XP for the party. That's actually fairly substantial, but we're not quite going to level up here. So let's see if there's any more quests in this area. You want me to slay bats again? I already slayed so many bats. Well, whatever. Let's get it done super quickly. Do you remember what the old man told you in the last task? Or no, I'm used to skipping all the chat and flavor messages in games. Are those even necessary anyway? So yes, the game is very self-aware. Obviously. Inevitably, some people are going to find this cute and maybe a little bit endearing from the game, and some people are going to find it annoying. There's also all sorts of pop culture references. Whenever I post a video that has features a game that does stuff like that, half the people are like, oh, I recognize that, that's cool. Half the people are like, fuck, you can't just get on my good side just by talking about TV shows that I like. Maybe, you know, you can make that decision for yourself where you hew with respect to this issue. So, whatever, what did the old man tell us? Anyway, the old man told you that the default village will probably be attacked again. You should head to the Den of the Devil to make sure they won't leave that place anymore. Yes, travel to the Den of the Devil. Thank you. Where is that? Over here? Alright, so Act 1, Quest 1, we have to be level 4. We are actually level 11, so I must have skipped this quest a little earlier. I'm sorry we're doing such easy quests. We'll show off the other stuff that you can do in towns and during encounters later. But for now, doing these quests actually allows us to advance the story. And when I originally started playing the game, I thought it was more of like a roguelike type deal. Like maybe every run would be super difficult. Almost like, what was that turn-based game I played a while ago? It was like last year. I mean, I don't want to call it Dungeons of Dreadmore, but I kind of thought it would be like faster. It seems more like this is designed to be your typical, like, okay, create characters and then take them all the way through the game, as opposed to, you know, create a party, like Legend of Grimrock style, and then probably die and have to restart over and over and over. So it doesn't seem like this has, like, really punishing permadeath or roguelike elements, which is kind of, it's my fault, I guess, for not realizing that that's how the game worked, and I definitely could have done adequate research on it. But, you know, I generally tend to prefer the roguelike type setup for a game versus the kind of just standard going through the game, going through the motions essentially all at the same time. So don't take these early battles as kind of being indicative of the shallowness of the gameplay. The gameplay is not necessarily the deepest thing in the world, but because I'm so much higher of a level than these guys, I can basically afford to just attack over and over. I've gotten pretty lucky so far in that I've never died, but I have actually come close to death against some of the harder monsters. So this is not representative of the enemies I should be fighting at this point in the game. This is just me giving you an idea, I should say, of how the general structure works. Generally speaking, I have to use my skills a lot more than I use them right now. That being said, the game hasn't been too punishing so far. Items have been kind of hard to come by. You can buy them if you choose with your gold, which of course also feeds into other things that you can buy. This time we got 2 gold, as you can see, 529 experience. We may level up. No, we got kind of close. But we have like 1 more bat that we have to kill here, so we'll just do this right away and the quest will end. So far the quests have been kind of repetitive, but that being said, you know, what you see is what you get here. A lot of people are kind of into this structure as well, I think. Alright, so we have completed it. We got 75 experience, probably 0 gold that time, and our quest will be complete, so we should get an experience bonus from that. What do we have here? We have a boss battle or something? Let's see how you handle this one. Some say kill or be killed. I guess that's what you should be thinking right now. Danger, your party is being attacked. Yes, this being said, I still imagine this is going to be a pretty easy fight. So let's use some of our special abilities that we have right now. So I use the leader strike there, which remember does bonus damage, and then I use my regular strike, which also causes the main boss here to do substantially less damage. So let's try that again. It has a tendency to do a lot of damage and also raises, I think it's our critical chance, but I'm not 100% sure. And we should basically be at 0 risk here of dying if I had to guess. So one more hit should be able to kill this boss. There'd probably be a little bit more tension here if I was actually fighting enemies that were roughly on the same level as me, but we're not, so let's not dwell on that issue too much longer. One more enemy attacking, and just for the sake of keeping things moving here, I might as well use the flash heal, just so that I don't have to stop after this mission is over, and that should kill him, and hopefully we'll get a big EXP bonus and be able to move on from here. So we got 1100 EXP, we also got a satchel of gems, which I guess we can equip to give ourselves initiative. There is like a character sheet screen, which is essentially an equip screen, and you can see it right here in front of you, essentially. This is also the level up screen. So every time you level up, you don't get to choose like an attribute to drop your points into, like, you know, strength, vitality, dexterity, you know, intelligence, stuff like that. Instead, you just choose a skill. So typically, because I'm the most boring player of all time, I tend to upgrade my passive skills, but Leader Strike has been pretty good. You can also see what our skills do here. So Flash Heal has been good to me. Holy Shield reduces 50% of our damage taken for 2 turns. Really useful, especially if we're going to use this guy to soak up damage. Leader Strike, Direct Strike that deals 7 divine bonus damage to attack and raises your threat level to 45. I don't quite understand what that means again, but I keep upgrading it because it's a good way to do like some extra damage on an attack. But we're going to upgrade our Devotion, which basically gives us a little bit of extra threat, but also it's a passive that gives us extra HP, and since our Paladin is soaking up most of the damage here, it's a smart idea. Do we have another spell here? Alright, so we have completed... yeah, we'll return to the default village because we have completed the Den of the Bats. I don't really understand what's going on with this D6 reroll either. Maybe that determines our travel speed or travel cost. But I can't help but wonder if, like, these day things are maybe associated with the mobile version of the game, because as is, I haven't even really noticed them, and the travel cost has not been a major issue so far, nor have the rolls on the travel. So I don't really know what's up with that. So every time you're in a town, or even like any area basically, you have a couple of things that you can do. You can choose to fight, which is basically just grinding against enemies, not in the gross like R. Kelly way, but in like you know, we could add like a bunch of boss rats for us to fight here simultaneously, and then when we beat them, we would get golden experience. We get less golden experience than if we did it in a quest, but we get golden experience nonetheless. I'm pretty sure that guy just made a joke about that girl giving him a hand job. Might not be the best in today's game journalism climate to lampshade that, so let's just move onwards. Hello, I'm Commoner Girl's boyfriend. You've proven a good friend to all of us. Quest done. Oh, I get it. There was setting up a joke there. We got a ton of experience there. That's actually going to give us at least 1 level up on this guy. And I'm just going to have him level up his strike, which has been, again, very good to us so far. He also has a great passive that gives him better HP regen. But other things you can do. You can go to a store and you can buy items here. So, you know, some of the items super expensive, but they will give us, I guess you can just buy experience right away, which is kind of a weird model that I've never seen before. But you can also buy like HP tokens, or HP potions, I should say, MP potions and stuff like that. Additionally, equipment that actually will give you other bonuses and benefits. So let me see. Yeah, I guess these have a level associated with them as well, which makes sense because you don't want to just be able to buy the best item in the game right away simply because you know, paid real US dollars for gold or something like that. But some of these are useful. You know, plus 5% crit, plus 3% gold from battle. That seems useful. That would give me like 0.03 extra gold per game. Plus 6 experience probably is something that's a little bit more up my alley. But anyway, why don't we buy one of these things? Let's buy the plus 6 experience necklace, which costs, you know, a pretty penny in terms of gold here. But let's open up our character sheet, and going to our equipment screen, should be able to equip this on this guy. Maybe we'll give him this as well, which gives him plus 1 initiative, which should make him move faster. So that's how you get more equipment. Additionally, you can rest, and resting will replenish your HP as well as your MP. I don't think there's any cost to resting, apart from it taking time. But again, time, at least in the PC version of the game, is not a limited resource. It's not finite. You can, well, I mean, it's finite if you die in real life, but, you know, within the game, you can basically rest as much as you want, as far as I've seen so far. So we have another quest going on here. I still don't know what's up with that 69%. What is our quest here? Travel. Travel to a specific place. This is our quest. Alright, let's do it. Now that you've become the default village heroes, you gain a lot of attention walking around the village. Random NPC, oh my god, a hero among us. Hug. While drinking and having fun at the tavern, a piece of paper was dropped to your table. Make a roll check. Maybe you noticed who dropped the note. Again, the tabletop aesthetic. Rolls a 1. Well, you think the note is a love letter from the barman. You take the note and start reading it. It says, something strange is happening at Sunset Castle. The king might be in danger. I'm sorry I can't reveal myself yet. Yes, we will travel to Sunset Castle and do another quest up here. So that's going to cost us 3 gold. And I believe that the D20 reroll is tied into the speed at which you move. So now that we've entered this town, we actually have another thing, not just the quest, but we can go to the tavern if we wanted to. We can also add new characters to our party if we want to. Let's exit the tavern, just so that we can see the screen a little bit more effectively. But we can add new people to our tavern if we want to, but I believe they'll come in at level 1. But you can see there's a wide selection of characters in the game, like, you know, a Wookiee, basically your little brother, a rocker. This is supposed to be Paris Hilton, I think. E.T., hipster, and all of these guys have like different traits associated with them. Like Grandma has an extra 12% to threats. What do we have? Mrs. Goldberry is like a teacher, I guess. She's got a lot of passive bonuses, I guess. Who else do we have? Special guest. Pizza Guy is a 50% discount to buy this player. That's kind of interesting. But why don't we create like a Jock Druid, which gives him a variety of spells. He's probably better off as like a warrior or something, but that's okay. And we can add him, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be level 1, so he's going to get his ass kicked in all likelihood. But it's cool that these guys all have like unique kind of text relative to them and the characters that they are. So let's go back to the tavern quickly because I've never been here before. Leave characters at the tavern to open space at your table. I kind of don't know what that means. Leave characters at the tavern to... Oh, okay, let's stand up then. Add plus... Info, reset, delete. Oh, I guess we can change our characters here or delete them if we want to. Why don't you sit down and I'm going to exit the tavern here. I'm not sure what was going on there necessarily. But we can also forge new materials if we want to. Like, for example, if we click on this sword. Oh, what do we lack here? I've never actually been to the blacksmith before, so this is all new to me. So I guess we can create new armor, which gives us plus 5 health and a little extra regen. So I think we only have a 35% chance of actually successfully crafting this. So this is pretty expensive for just a shot at it. But we can also upgrade our blacksmith. Oh, we don't have the grindstone. Okay, well, let's try it and see if it works. He's a 35% chance of success. Do you want to proceed? Yes. We rolled a 2. That's probably bad luck. Failed. Try again for 150. Yes. 3. That's probably pretty bad as well. Yeah, let's try again. Just hemorrhaging money at this point. 11? You failed? Okay, let's keep going here. 17. That's got to be a successful roll. Okay, good. Your item was delivered to Nerd. So let's open up our Nerd inventory here, and he should... Oh, he's already got it equipped on him. Good. That cost us a staggering amount of money, like $3 worth of gold if you were to buy it at, like, the lowest level. And I think that's basically, I've covered what you can do in town here. So why don't we get involved with maybe like one last quest here. As you get closer to the Sunset Castle, you have a terrible feeling. A strange feeling of evil emanates from within the castle. I guess we should continue anyway. The strange feeling stays with you as you walk up to the castle gate. Roll the dice. We actually got a little extra health there for some reason. Guards have noticed your presence by the gate. Oh, look, it's the prisoners who escaped from the tower prison the other day. That is indeed us. And we're going to get into battle. We have to kill 7 castle guards. So this is what's kind of interesting, is that you can, you know, add as many units as you feel is fit to kind of choose how fast you're going to be able to complete the quest. I really like that about the game. It's probably my favorite thing about it, in fact, is that you can kind of tailor this yourself. At the same time, it does make things a little bit repetitive sometimes, because, you know, you beat an encounter like this, and then you just have to go back and do it again, maybe 2 or 3 more times to actually be able to complete it. Why they are not attacking my level 1 druid is beyond me. I'm not sure if this is something like built into the game to make sure that you don't just die immediately when you summon a new character. But I have to imagine that he would die in like 1 hit probably, because these guys are like literally 11 times stronger than him. I think I'm at the right level to be able to take these guys out. I've just been using my basic attacks for the most part. It's working out alright for me so far. Actually, our dude is almost dead. The thing is, I would love to use Flash Heal, but Flash Heal actually doesn't heal any other people apart from the person who cast it, so it doesn't give us a huge benefit to do so. So it's totally possible that this guy might die, which might actually be a good thing, as we can see what happens when you die and maybe it costs gold to resurrect. because there's no real tutorial. You just kind of jump into the game. So I hope you'll excuse me for not 100% understanding all of the mechanics straight away. I did indeed put an hour into this before we started recording, but some of the more unique characteristics of the game are a little bit more obtuse to me or obscured because of a lack of like any explicit tutorial. That being said, I'm okay with discovering things on my own as well. Doesn't really bother me that much. So let's use a leader strike here, and we will just continue doing our basic attacks as well as our regular strikes, which is basically going to make it impossible for this dude to kill us. But we'll... Oh, he's dead. How do we resurrect him? I guess we'll see once the battle's over, which it is right now. I wonder if he still gets experience. So we get 1,814 experience. He should level up quickly. Oh, he doesn't get experience when he dies. That sucks. So how do we resurrect him? Do you want to resurrect him for 0 gold? That is a pretty good deal in my eyes. Might as well level up our character here. Let's just give him another one for devotion so we can continue to soak up health. But that's probably going to do it for my Let's Look At of Knights of Pen and Paper +1 Deluxe Edition for the PC. How do I feel about this game? I think it's a little overpriced, I'll admit, if we're going to be frank here. $10 plus the free-to-play stuff. Even though the free-to-play stuff isn't essential or required by any stretch of the imagination, you could easily play this game without touching it, it just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and it strikes me as maybe not deep enough or replayable enough of an experience to maybe justify the $10 price tag. That being said, it has some, you know, endearing characteristics. The kind of interaction between the characters is okay. Gameplay is a little repetitive. The kind of unique mechanic to tailor your own quests or create your own quests and, you know, deal with enemies in manageable waves is kind of interesting. It does kind of feel like there's a little bit of an aftertaste from mobile-focused development in here. I don't necessarily mean that in a derisive way towards mobile development, but it feels like a game that was maybe designed with other, like, more mobile-centric mechanics, like having a specific amount of time on a given day that you can take actions. And I'm talking out of my ass here, potentially. I don't know if these actually did exist. But it feels like parts of that were stripped away from the PC version. And I don't mean that it's feature barren, I just mean it's a little unusual, maybe is a good way to put it. Certainly not a bad game, but not one that I can recommend in good faith at full price to absolutely everybody. But if you like what you see, there will be a link in the video description of the store page, and I would encourage you, maybe wait on a Steam sale for this if you're interested in picking it up, or check out the mobile version, which I assume is a little bit cheaper. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you found the video entertaining and maybe even a little bit informative as well, and as always, I will see you next time.